Hey guys, how's it going? Well, this is my third installment of travel tips, and I want to talk today about how to really manage your spoons. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google spoon theory. It has to do with when you have health issues or any kind of other limitation that you just have to really manage your time because you can only do so much. And that's my case. You know, I've got some health issues that really affect my ability to just be active. So the main thing that overall I want to say is that you have to really simplify and prioritize. Now, this is not how I used to travel. I was maximize. You know, that was my philosophy, and that's really had to change. So now, for example, like one of my sort of approaches is that I try to do one thing a day, like one activity. So like in the past, I'd be like, well, I'll go to the museum in the morning, and then I'll go to the beach in the afternoon, and then at night I'll go to a concert. Like I used to do that. Now I think, okay, if I can do one thing that day, then that's a full day. So like yesterday, I just went to Coronado. That was it. It was, pretty simple. I had breakfast there. I walked around, saw the hotel, and then I just went to the beach. And then I came home, and then I had the evening free. So like today, my plan, it's a little vague. See, I have to admit, I have a little bit of loftier plans today, but it probably will not pan out. So I want to go to Torrey Pines and do a little hike, and then go up to like Encinitas and maybe get some lunch and go to the meditation garden there. That might be okay. I have to really see. Like I might end up just going to Torrey Pines, but I think the main thing is to really accept that, because that's okay. I always used to think I had to do more, and that was the best trip. And if I didn't see everything, it was a bad trip. It's like, no, that's just not my reality. So, yeah, so one thing a day. And then the other thing I recommend is that you try and alternate between like a more resting day and a little more active day. So, like yesterday was really very restful. I just really like decompressed at the beach for the most part. So today I'm going to try and be a little more active. I'm going to drive a little farther, and I'm going to do like the gentle hike. And then I might, like I said, I might walk around Encinitas a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. But I try and alternate. And then the other thing that I think works really, really well is like for me when I'm on vacation, usually it's a nice climate and I really want to enjoy the sun and the warmth. So I don't want to sleep until 12 and like miss all that good time. So I tend to try and get up early and start the day early. Now, the other thing that really, really works well is that I always get like a little apartment or something that at least has like a mini kitchen. And it makes it so much easier and also faster. So especially if like we have health issues with certain dietary constraints, it's a way to be sure that you can get what you need. And so like what I usually do when I travel is I like to have breakfast in because one, it's really simple. I can just quickly put together what I need. But also, when you go out to breakfast, it takes a lot of time. And so, like, by the time you get up and going and then you go, I mean, you've wasted like an hour as far as I'm concerned. So I don't really like to do that. And I think, too, if you have sensory issues, going out to breakfast can be kind of a lot on the system. So I usually like to maybe find out like what's the one awesome breakfast place in the area and then do one breakfast out. But that's like part of my day's activities. It's not like every day I'm going out to breakfast. And then the other thing, it's also good on your budget, because it's expensive to eat out 3 meals a day. So go to the grocery, pick up like some eggs or whatever you need for breakfast, some fruit, and just have it. And then it's like quick and easy. Usually what I do too is like I'll, like I said, start early, but then sometimes like yesterday I got back by, I think it was 4:30 or 5. And then I had leftovers from the night before that I did go out to dinner. And so I had dinner in and I just relaxed. And I think what's going to work for this trip is that in the evenings I'm going to spend the time relaxing, and then I'm also going to try and plan the next day's activities and maybe even like lay things out. Like I realized yesterday, like that might be a good use of my evening time, and then I can get started early. The other benefit of starting early is like you miss the crowds. Like yesterday I got to Coronado probably, I don't know, maybe 9:30, and by the time I got to the beach it was 10:30 and hardly anybody was there. So you get to like have like really peaceful quiet time, you know. So that's an extra benefit. You know, you get out before all the crowds, or if you're going to like a zoo or something, it's really nice to like not have all those crowds. The other thing to think about is kind of the structure of like the whole trip. Now, what works for me is I just plan to have one day. The first day is just about the travel. Even if you're only flying like a few hours, it still takes a whole day. So I shared in my other video that I like to like leave a little bit later in the day. So I have that morning to do last minute packing. You know, things always come up. And then, you know, I fly, sometimes your flights get delayed. So you've got that, you know, to think about. And then you have to kind of get to your destination. You know, you need to pick up your rental car, you need to find where you're going, and you need to unpack. So literally, the first day for me is always just travel and get to your destination. If I have a little extra time, I go to the grocery store and pick up some groceries. But I don't even try and start, you know, doing anything touristy at all. And then the next day is really about getting acclimated. I don't put a lot of pressure on myself to do activities that day. Like if I'm in a neighborhood, like I just kind of walk around the neighborhood. You know, that might be also, if I didn't get groceries the first day, I might get groceries. I kind of unpack and organize things. Like I don't put a lot of pressure on myself. I just do something easy, local. You know, like here I just explored the local neighborhood and went for a little walk, and then I had dinner out in the neighborhood. And then at the back end of the trip, the same thing. Like I always have one day that's just about travel. I don't try and cram a lot in, you know. So again, I kind of will travel a little later in the day, so I have the morning to pack up my stuff, and then, you know, by the time you get home, it's the evening. One thing that's working out really well for this trip is I ended up traveling from a Saturday to a Saturday. Now, I would have never done that in the past. You know, when I was younger, I would have wanted to maximize everything. So I would have left like Friday afternoon and gotten home late Sunday night. And what I found was like Saturday was a nice day to fly because it wasn't that crowded and it was just easy to get to the airport. If you go on Friday night, you might have a lot of traffic, tons and tons and tons of people, and that can really overwhelm your system. So, plus I think it's a little more affordable to fly on Saturday. So, hey, that's a bonus. And then I'm flying back on Saturday, and then that will give me Sunday at home to really unpack, do laundry, reacclimate, you know. And remember, sometimes there's a little bit of a time change, so your body's kind of adjusting. You know, I think that it's not realistic to just expect to come back and then like the next day, you know, be able to get back in your routine and your obligations. I mean, if not, if you have any kind of, you know, health issues like I do. So, you know, I think the most important thing is the mindset. You know, we really have to accept what we can and cannot do and plan within that and be okay with that. Like, I would have never been okay with that when I was younger. I would have been like, oh my God, I gotta see this and this and this and this. No, no. I want to travel, and this is what has to happen, and it's okay. It's you know, it's more about really experiencing the simple pleasures and not the quantity. It really is, I guess, the quality over the quantity. I get the opportunity every day to check in with myself and what do I really feel today? What do I need? How am I doing? What would feel good? And that's very different from the sort of type A go, go, go mentality. So, you know, that's pretty much it for today. Just know that, you know, when you travel, you're always learning. You're learning about yourself. You're learning what you can and cannot do. There's no way it's ever going to be perfect. Things are going to go wrong. But you can just do some of these tricks and tips to help make it a little bit easier on yourself and decrease some of the stress. So anyway, that's it.